Hey guys, it's your girl Chris Marie, and from the title of this video, you're probably wondering, just like so many, is what is the gender of the baby? Oh my god. So I am currently 12 weeks and 3 days right now. I had my first birthing class, which went pretty good, except only 2 of us showed up. The other 4 didn't show up, so they're hoping that next month they do show up. I've been waiting for the results from the blood work. If you follow me on social media, you know I've talked about this multiple times. And for some reason, they just weren't coming into that email that for the hospital, whatever. So I asked my nurse today in our birthing class, and she actually gave me the results in an envelope so I can share with you guys. So I'm super excited to tell you guys the gender. So if you're here to find out if it is a girl or if it is a boy, then keep watching. I also did a voting on social media. I did it on Instagram and I did it on Snapchat. My husband did it on Instagram and my mother actually did it on her Facebook. So for girl tallies, we ended up getting close to 65 girls. And for boys, we only got 22. So that's a lot for girls. So yeah, just stick around and keep watching. Alright, now for this recipe, you can totally make a homemade cake. I have so many recipes down below in my drawer over here, full of different recipes for cakes, brownies, and stuff. But because it is just me and my husband, I figured I'm not going to sit there and take the time to make a homemade cake. And I'm not even going to make a big cake, guys. I'm literally going to make 2 of these tins. And these are... what size is this? 6 by 2, 6 inches by 2. So there's a 2-pack here, which, here we go. There's a 2-pack here. So I'm literally just gonna take 1 box of cake mix and split them between 2, and then I'm gonna cut these in half. So I have 4 cake layers, which you guys will see in a second. Like you just heard me said, I'm using cake mix. Again, if this was a gender reveal party, if this was something I'm doing for someone else, I would definitely go homemade. But because it's just me and my husband, and we're not really big cake eaters, I'll tell you that. Like the one cake that I will tell you I eat like crazy is tuxedo cake. They have it at Walmart, just an FYI. But I figured I'm just gonna use a simple box cake, go by the instructions, and go from there. Now, like I said, you can totally make this homemade. But again, I'm not gonna waste that time and money. So there's that. Also, I did pick up quite a few jars of frosting. Again, I have all the ingredients to make frosting. I can make homemade frosting, but knowing me, I will make way too much. And to be honest, guys, I really hate frosting. I'm probably gonna scrape off the frosting off this cake once I eat it. So yeah, I would rather just spend the $1.50 for frosting. So there's that. And you want to make sure when you get a frosting, you don't get the whips. Also, don't get the frosting that has colors in it. Those seem to make the frosting very watery. I'm out of breath. Jesus, this baby. So you want to make sure you get something that's kind of solid. Now, this does say Creamy Supreme. It's creamy. It doesn't mean that it's very light. Meaning it's not going to melt on me. My kitchen's pretty cold right now too. And I am going to put this cake in the fridge for a good 5 minutes. So this is the kind of frosting I did get. So this is okay to get. Again, if you get the whips and you try to create like designs or roses, it's not really gonna do that. I have no idea what I'm doing to top the cake. I'm probably just gonna do a bunch of question marks, to be honest. But yeah, we'll just see. I'm gonna do this with you guys. So this is kind of like a gender reveal party for all of us because yeah, I know the gender, but I didn't get to do this back home, so I'm doing it with everyone here watching. Alright, so going back to making things homemade. Again, you can make a homemade frosting. Now, actually 2 tips I will advise is one, make sure it's unsalted butter. If you get salted butter, your frosting, so the sugars and the oils will start to separate. It's like if you put, what's a good analogy? If you put like jam with butter and you see that it starts to like deteriorate, like separate, that's what's gonna happen with your frosting. So you want to make sure you have unsalted frosting when you do make your frosting. And like I was saying before, you don't want to get colored frosting already made unless it's like Wilton brand, which I know it could be pricey. So you do want to get actual food colorings, not the grocery store bought stuff, because I'm telling you guys, that stuff doesn't work unless you really don't care how it comes out or you just need something quick. Then I understand. So I have this set from AmeriColor, and oh you guys, I really need a camera. Okay, so I only got this for, I think it was like $20 on Amazon, and these are all the colors it comes in. So if I do a bunch of question marks or whatever I do, I'm most likely going to use obviously the blue and pink in here. And yeah, so you just want to make sure you use a gel base food coloring, and that way it doesn't separate your frosting and all that hard work you did if you're doing homemade frosting, as well as store-bought. You want to make sure that you get a good food coloring and you're not wasting everything that you make. So I'm gonna stop talking. So you guys, I'm gonna go ahead and grease my pans, line them with parchment paper, make the cake mix, and then I'm gonna go ahead and bake it. Obviously I'm not doing the cake a color because then you guys will know the gender. Hello. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that off camera really quickly, and then when I come back, the cakes will be fully cooled, and then I'll show you guys how I'm going to decorate. Alright guys, ooh, sorry I burped. So I have the cakes in the pans. They're really small. I don't know why they look big on camera or on my phone right now, but they're not, I don't know why I'm comparing this. They're not big at all, they're small. So I filled them halfway, so I only used 1 box of cake. These are definitely gonna rise, and then I'm gonna cut them in half. So when I see you guys next, these cakes will be cooled. So I'm gonna cook these for 25 minutes, check them, and then let them cool for another 15. Alright guys, so these are the cakes. I just took them out the oven. That was my mistake. I kind of stabbed it a little too hard. I did have to cook these for an extra 10 minutes. So these took 35 minutes. Again, the pan is a 6 by 2 inch. So once they completely cool, I'm going to go ahead and pull the parchment paper, because I did butter the pans and then line them with parchment. So the parchment's still under there, but I want to wait till they cool down so that way I don't pull any of the cake off. And then I'm going to cut some of the top, because as you can see, it's domed, and then we're going to cut these in half. So I'm going to try my best to show you guys that on camera. I might have my husband hold the camera while I do it. But yeah, we're going to let these cakes cool for a good 15 to 20 minutes. Because you don't want any type of heat on this, because one, I was going to say marshmallow, oh my god. The frosting will melt off, and also when you cut this, it will get really flaky. Regardless, it still will do that. There'll be crumbs, that's why we're going to do a crumb coat. But the purpose of wanting this to cool down is because you can break your cake if you don't let it cool down completely. Alright guys, so I'm right here. I had to change my shirt and get comfortable. But this is what we're working with for the cake. So under here, we're gonna gently pull this off. Look at that. Okay. You still want to be careful with them because, like I said, they're still cake. They can still, ooh, excuse me, break. So you want to get some type of serrated knife, cutting the roundness, some type of like bud knife. I obviously don't have that, so I'm using this big guy. So just get as close as you can. Doesn't have to be perfect, as long as it's flat. So I'm gonna get like top. I'm gonna do this on top. Oh, that's so good. Oh my god, that's so good. So I'm gonna cut some of this off. They do sell the cake levelers. You can get those, but I'm just gonna do it the old-fashioned way. You want to be careful with the edges because sometimes they're hard. So if you pull too hard, they will cut the side of the cake. So this is what the top of my cake looks like. Now, there is some still a little bit imperfection, so I'm going to finish off leveling that. But you do want it flat because when you stack the cakes on top of each other, I can't breathe. You want to make sure that everything's even. So I'm going to go ahead, finish this one up, and I'm going to finish cutting. I'm going to start cutting the top of this one. And then right after, I'm going to take the same knife and I'm going to cut right in the middle to make this 4 cakes instead of 2. Alright guys, so I wanted to show you a quick tip on, not really a tip, but a trick that I did with cutting the middle. So because I don't have the right knife to cut this cake, oh shit, okay, because I don't have the right knife to cut this cake, and I have this, and it's a sharp knife, but it's not the serrated knife that I need. So what I did is I stabbed in here and I kind of just went around all the way the cake. So right now it's stabbed all the way through. I think I missed one spot actually. So pretty much like this, following the natural line of the cake. So the middle, you see how that's still connected a little bit? So I'm just gonna go in here and gently go through like that. So that's a tip, because if I were to push sideways through the cake, because this is not the right knife again, it would have broke the cake. So if you don't have this knife, if you have a different type of knife but you have a point, just stab in maybe this much of the knife all the way around and then lift and then just slightly slide through. So now that I have one of my cakes, I'm going to go ahead and put it on another dry rack. Let me just get that 1 second. Perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and put this on the dry rack, and this is just going to help take some of those crumbs off, so that way when I do go to frost the cake, like I said, I am going to do a crumb coat, but this will preferably be my bottom piece, and then the middles will be in the middle of the cake. So I'm going to go ahead and finish this one, and then we're going to go ahead and assemble the cake together. Guys, I decided I'll just show you what I was talking about. So I'm going to start off, just keep sliding, so I'm just going to leave it. But I'm going to start off with the natural line right there. So I'm going to go in and we're just gonna slide it through. Again, you still want to be gentle with this because this can break at any moment. And if you feel like you're putting your knife too much in, then take it out. And when you see that you're getting close to the starting point, don't drag it because, again, you'll have a messed up cake. So now that we have that part done, I'm gonna lift the cake on both sides. We're just gonna gently maneuver the cake, and it came right off. So now I have 2 middles on this drying rack and 2 bottoms on this drying rack. So I'm gonna go ahead and just level out these edges right here real quick, and then I'll be right back. So I leveled them as best I can. So now we're gonna push those to the side, and these are the 2 middles. So because I need to insert, insert the color of the chocolate balls of the gender, I need 2 holes to be able to do that. So I have 2 sizes of cookie cutters. Now the only thing is if I do this one, it is way too big. Alright, so instead of the bigger one, we're going to use the smaller one. So I'm going to actually move the cake forward to you guys real quick. Let's see how I can do this to show you guys what I'm talking about. I'll move this to the side. I'm going to put one of the cakes on the actual counter because if I leave it on the cooking rack while trying to make a hole, chances with my luck is it's going to break. So, okay, sorry guys, I see little spots I've missed, and this is the perfect time to tidy up anything you've missed. My husband's just right here eating cake. So, see if I can, got my phone falling. You want to kind of get like a biscuit cut or something deeper, but this is what I have, and if this is what you have, then it's fine. So you want to put it dead center in the middle, and then you want to push all the way down, okay? You want to lift back up, okay? Go under the cake and pop that piece out. I promise you, do that, because if you try to take it out, you will tear this cake up. So this is what you should have. Okay, so we're gonna do that again. Next cake. Cookie cutter. See how it's not a lot of space? So this is how you want to do it. Dead center. Push all the way down, wiggle a little bit, okay? Pull the cookie cutter out. Go under the cake and pop it out. Again, do not try to take it out from the top. It will come undone. Okay, so now we have 2 little like donuts. And then you got 2 pieces of cake that you literally can just eat. If you wanted, you can do the top layer open, which I may or may not do. I'm just gonna see how the cakes and the chocolate look. And then what you would do is you would put this back on top, but you would cut this in half. So I'm actually gonna see if I need to cut the top or not. But yeah, so let's start assembling the cake. All right, guys. So move it back down here. Don't mind the lip smacking. Brandon's over here eating one of the cakes we popped out of the cake.
It's kind of big enough for me.
So normally you would use a rotating cake pan, plate, or cake dish. Use whatever you have. Guys, like I said, this cake is literally just for me and my husband. So I just cut a square of parchment paper. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is take some of the frosting with my offset spatula, and I'm just going to smear it a little bit on the bottom. So this is going to actually hold the cake in place from moving. So like if you have a cake dome, a cake dish, if you have the rotating cake, this is what you want to do to your cake. If you have a bigger cake, you want to kind of like put some spots and smear it. But again, this is a smaller cake, so this is how we're going to do it. Alright. So you can decide on the crumb on the bottom or flat on top. Because we want the bottom surface. I mean, it doesn't really matter how you want it because you can do it like that. The whole thing's going to get covered anyway. But what I'm going to do is put the flat on the bottom because the pressure of the cake chocolates, they are the 6-slits that you can get at Walmart. It's going to put some pressure down here, causing me to fit more. So that's why I'm putting the soft spot up. Normally I would put it opposite because the bottom is more flatter and level. But this is how you want to do it. You just want to lightly push down. Now if you were doing flavored cakes like an almond syrup, this is where you would want to take a brush and brush your flavoring on. But we're not doing that, so we're going to go ahead and take a good amount of our frosting with our offset spatula. If you don't have an offset spatula, don't be alarmed. You don't have to use this. Oh my god, guys, I'm sorry, I'm burping so much. And this is where you want to be very careful because of all the crumbs. So if you notice, I'm not really going back and forth. I put everything in the middle and I'm pushing it to the edge. I know some of you guys watching this are probably like, bitch, I clicked on this video to know the gender. Well, you're gonna know in a second, don't worry. Alright, so you want to put a generous amount. Make sure it's nicely coated. And now, we put one of our donuts. Okay, and don't worry about that. That's all getting covered. Alright, so you want to repeat, covering only the top. So this one's a little tricky, but it's almost like you're putting cream cheese on a bagel. You don't want to push too hard. You want to make sure you get those edges. Make sure you get those edges, girl. And you just want to be careful with not breaking the cake because it's really soft. Now the purpose of crumb coat is to capture all the crumbs. So if you have crumbs in between, don't worry about that. That's actually good because you want to catch them. Alright. Perfect. Alright guys, so now we've frosted our 3 layers of cake. I'm going to show you what it looks like in there. It's pretty awesome. So I'm going to go ahead and off camera, I'm going to add the color of the sprinkles. I'm going to add the top layer and then I'm going to frost the top. Alright guys, so I went and crumb coated my cake, which wasn't a lot of crumbs obviously, but I'm going to go ahead and chill this for a good 5 to 10 minutes. I'm going to go over the bottom a little bit just for parts like that. Well, actually, no, I'm not really going to because those are going to get covered up anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in the fridge on a plate for 5 to 10 minutes. And in the meantime, I'm going to figure out how I'm going to decorate this. This is how the blue came out. It's like a nice baby blue. And this is how the pink came out. So actually, it was like the perfect pink color. So I'm going to go ahead and one at a time put in my piping bag. You guys, I do have my baking jar right there, disposable piping bags. However, when I deal with frosting like this, I like to use my pastry bag. You can use a Ziploc bag and cut the end of it and insert your tip. I know Wilton has a lot of good brands, but I've had this pastry bag for like ever, and it's customizable with the cutting in the tape to any of my Azteco tips. So I'm gonna go ahead and put my tip in once I can find it. Alrighty, so this cake is nice and set. It looks lopsided on the camera, but I promise you guys it's not. Or maybe it is leaning towards the side, but see if that works. Alright. So yeah, let's get to frosting. Alright, let's see how I'm gonna do this. I made that one kind of too big. That's okay. So perfect. Alright guys, this is the finished look. Again, had I known, if I measured it right, that I was gonna have enough frosting, I would have did the whole cake. But like I said, I don't really care about frosting, and I could have frosted a little better, but this is just so you get the idea of how to make a cake. So this is the finished look. I'm so excited to cut into this. So, are you guys ready to know the gender? Oh my god, I'm so excited. Okay. Guys, it's the moment you've been waiting for. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut a piece right here, and then I'm going to turn it around for you guys. Okay, so the perfect way to describe the size of this cake, by the way, because I've been trying to think about it throughout the whole entire video, it's like the size of a smash cake. It's literally like a perfect size for like a dog cake or like your baby's first birthday. But yeah, so I showed you guys the top of the cake already. I'm sorry. Okay, there you go. I'm gonna go ahead and cut into the cake, hopefully. Oh man. It's no, guys. Got you. Okay, no, for real. Let me stop playing games, because I don't need no hate comments on here. Ooh. I think I cut too deep. But either way, okay. Let's see. Oh my god. Alright guys, are you ready to see the gender? Okay. Dun 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 dun. I don't know why I'm so nervous. I already know the gender, but I'm mad nervous to tell you guys. Alright. All jokes aside. And we're having a girl! We're having a girl, guys. We're having a girl. Oh my god, you guys. So originally me and my husband were shooting, we were hoping it was a boy, and a lot of you guessed it was a girl, and it's a girl. So I cut the piece a little small. If I would have cut it bigger, it would have spilled out a little more. But yeah, we're having a girl, so yay! We do already have a name picked out. We're just debating on the middle name. So that will be for another video. It's not that it's a secret or anything. Some people already know the name. I'll just save it for another video. But yes, we're having a girl. We're so excited. It's a blessing, honestly. Today when I had my appointment, they said the baby kept moving every time. They were trying to find her heartbeat, and every time I get an ultrasound or anything done, she always wants to move around. So I'm like, great, I'm gonna have a hyper baby. So yes, I'm very, 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 very nervous. I'm scared, I'm excited, my emotions are everywhere, but we're having a girl. And I'm so happy I got to share this with all of you guys. Give this video a thumbs up, like, and subscribe if you haven't already. I just did the same thing. And if you're new to my channel, welcome. And guys, thank you so much for watching. Until next week. Bye. Yep. I don't think I should be eating this before I go to bed, but I deserved it.